Sister tried to sell my foreclosed beach house. Until the HOA president exposed my platinum membership, the open house began at 11 a.m. on a late August Saturday. My sister Ashley had plastered the listing everywhere: Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Urgent cash sale, oceanfront Malibu property, owner liquidating fast, $750,000 cash only, today only. I watched from my Honda Civic parked 3 blocks down Ocean Vista Drive. The house, my house, was worth about $3.2 million. Private cul-de-sac, direct beach access, floor-to-ceiling Pacific views. Ashley had priced it at less than a quarter of market value, baiting cash investors looking for distressed deals. By 15 cars lined the street. I recognized Mom's white Lexus and cousin Derek's SUV. She'd turned it into a family project. From my laptop, I streamed the interior security cameras I'd installed 2 years earlier. Cameras Ashley didn't know existed because she'd never actually been inside the house before that day. On screen, she told a middle-aged couple in business casual, "My sister Sarah got in over her head, bought at the peak, couldn't keep up with payments. Bank's about to foreclose. She's desperate to avoid the credit damage, so first cash offer today wins." None of it was true. I'd bought the place outright 18 months ago, no mortgage. Ashley had seen the public tax records and decided a $3.2 million beach house meant I was either broke or gullible enough to let her help. Mom appeared, notepad and measuring tape in hand. "This couch has to go," she said, "but the dining table is good, we can take it to my place." Derek was in the kitchen opening cabinets. "Dishwasher stays." "Wine fridge too." Ashley addressed the growing crowd, maybe 20 people now, snapping photos, testing switches. "Offers until 1 p.m. all cash, as is, close in 30 days. Sarah signed power of attorney last month when she realized she couldn't handle it anymore. She waved a document. I knew it was fake. I'd never given her, or anyone, power of attorney. We'd barely spoken in 5 years. A man in an expensive suit asked, "What about the HOA? Riviera del Sol is strict." Ashley smiled smoothly. "HOA is current, fees paid through year-end. New owner just assumes standard membership." She'd done some homework, but not enough. She didn't know what kind of membership I actually held. At 11:47, I texted Margaret Chin, Riviera del Sol HOA president. "Unauthorized open house at 847 Ocean Vista Drive. Sister attempting to sell without permission. Please respond with police. Reply in 40 seconds. On my way." Stay put. Margaret was 71, a retired attorney who ran the association like a courtroom, precise, merciless, and allergic to rule breakers. We'd become friends after I bought the house. We bonded over paperwork, rules, and ironclad contracts. On camera, the bids climbed. $720K cash from a young couple, $740K from another investor. Mom was upstairs raiding closets. "Sarah always had awful taste. We'll repaint everything." "These curtains are hideous." Derek asked quietly, "She'll really split it with us?" "Ashley promised me 20%, Mom said. She needs cash for her DUI lawyer. You're getting $50K, right?" Derek nodded. "She still owes me from that 2019 loan." I'd never borrowed from Derek. He owed me $3,000 from 2019 and never repaid it. But in their version, I was the debtor. At 12:14, a silver Mercedes arrived. Margaret stepped out in white blouse and navy pants, leather portfolio in hand. A Malibu police cruiser parked behind her. I closed the laptop and walked to the house. Inside, Ashley was congratulating the suited man. "You just bought an incredible property at an incredible price." The front door opened. Margaret entered first, officers behind her. "Excuse me," she said, voice like a blade. "This open house is unauthorized and illegal. Everyone must leave immediately." Silence fell. Ashley's face went from confusion to panic. "Who are you?" she demanded. "Margaret Chin, president of Riviera del Sol HOA." She raised her portfolio. "This property is not for sale." Owner Sarah Morrison did not authorize this showing, did not sign listing documents, and did not grant power of attorney. That's not true, Ashley said quickly. I have documentation. You have fraudulent documentation, Margaret cut in. I've known Sarah for 18 months. She purchased in February last year, paid in full, and 6 weeks ago upgraded to Platinum Lifetime membership, $180,000 one-time dollars fee. Murmurs rippled. Platinum was legendary, only 12 properties held it. It meant permanent beach access, no monthly dues ever again, and certain governance rights. Sarah would never spend that, Ashley muttered, confidence crumbling. She spent exactly that, Margaret said, producing the receipt. Wire transfer July 12. This house is not in distress, not in foreclosure, and not for sale through your fake listing. I stepped inside. 25 heads turned. Hi, Ashley, I said quietly. Thanks for hosting an open house at my property without permission. Her face drained of color. Sarah, I was just trying to help. Help by selling my house for 1/4 of its value. By forging power of attorney. By promising Mom and Derek cuts of money you'd steal. An officer stepped forward. Ma'am, are you Sarah Morrison, the owner? I showed my ID, then phone screens. Tax records, title docs, platinum certificate. Did you authorize this sale or listing? No, the officer turned to Ashley. Let's see your paperwork. She handed over the folder. Margaret scanned it like she'd done for 40 years. Forgeries, she declared. Fake notary stamp, wrong county, wrong date format. Signature doesn't match HOA records. Form is a generic template, improperly executed. This is fraud, trespass, attempted theft by deception. Ashley tried. This is a family matter. I was helping my sister avoid disaster. By lying to buyers about foreclosure, I asked. By promising family shares of stolen proceeds. Mom appeared on the stairs, Derek behind her. She froze at the sight of police. Sarah, why are you doing this? She was trying to help. You're so secretive about money, we thought you were in trouble. You thought I was in trouble, I said evenly, so you decided to sell my house without asking. We tried calling, Ashley said. You never answer, you're so distant. I answered 2 weeks ago, you asked how I was, I said fine, you said great and hung up, never mentioned any concern. I addressed the crowd. I'm sorry for the wasted time, this property is not for sale. Any offers or documents signed here are void. People began leaving, some fast, some lingering for the drama. The suited man paused. If you ever sell legally, I'd be interested. Noted. 10 minutes later, the house was empty except for me, Ashley, Mom, Derek, Margaret, and the officers. The lead officer asked, Ms. Morrison, do you want to press charges? I looked at Ashley, 33, always broke, always in crisis, always convinced other people's success should be shared. Did you really believe I was in foreclosure? I asked. Or did you see a valuable asset in my name and decide you deserved a piece? Her jaw tightened. You've always had it easy. Good job, good money, now this ridiculous beach house you don't even use. I use it every weekend. You just don't know because you don't know my life. Because you never share, she snapped. You buy a $3 million house and tell no one. You're so separate. I'm separate because every time I share, someone tries to take. I told you about my promotion, you asked for a loan. I mentioned saving for a house, Derek pitched his crypto scam. Mom said, family helps family. If you're doing well, you should lift us up. I've given $15,000 in 5 years, I said. I documented it. Paid Ashley's DUI fees, Derek's rent twice, bought you a new fridge. I've helped. The thanks is trying to sell my house. The officer cleared his throat. Charges, I considered fraud, forgery, trespass, serious felonies. Mom and Derek potentially accomplices. I want them removed immediately, I said. I want a restraining order 500 feet from this address. Document everything in case they try again. Ashley's voice cracked. You're really doing this to your family over a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding is showing up uninvited, I said. This was planned theft. Yes, I'm doing it. Officers escorted them out. Margaret stayed. Sorry you had to go through this, she said. Thank you for coming so fast. Platinum members look out for each other. She smiled faintly. Also, I despise real estate fraud. After she left, I checked the house. No damage, nothing obviously stolen, but they'd gone through everything: closets, drawers, private spaces. Mom's notebook lay on the counter. Dining table, bedroom dresser, appliances, wine collection to split with Ashley. I threw it away. Over the next week, Ashley sent 17 texts, apologies, accusations, guilt trips about Mom not eating. I blocked her. Mom called from different numbers: friends, phones, burners. Each voicemail: guilt right arrow, anger right arrow, threats about what family would think. I saved them, then blocked. Derek emailed, "I didn't know Ashley was going that far, thought we were just looking." "Can we talk?" I didn't reply. 3 months later, a real lawyer's letter arrived from Ashley. Emotional distress, false allegations, claimed she acted in good faith believing I needed help. My attorney replied with a detailed list of her crimes, my evidence, and warning of counterclaims for fraud, trespass, attempted theft. The lawyer disappeared. 6 months after the fake open house, Margaret dropped by the deck with wine as the sun set. "How are you holding up?" "Better." "Quieter. Family estrangement is painful," she said, "even when necessary. My brother contested Mom's will, said I manipulated her because I was the caregiver. I hadn't. I looked after her 5 years while he visited twice a year. He lost. We haven't spoken in 12 years. Regrets? Not one. We watch the waves in silence. I still own the beach house. I still come every weekend. I upgraded security, new locks, biometrics on the gate. The Platinum membership remains, the detail Ashley never knew until it destroyed her plan. Sometimes I remember her face when Margaret announced the $180,000 payment, Mom's list of furniture to take, Derek casually counting his promised cut. I don't feel guilty anymore. I feel safe. And that's the ending we both earned. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.